let's have a look at the items and powers that are available for Ana in Overwatch 2 Stadium. In this series of videos, I'm highlighting some heroes and have a look at their powers and their unique items in Overwatch 2 Stadium. Today we're taking a look at Ana. So here we are with Ana on the stadium practice range on the previous server. If you're not familiar with this screen just yet, don't worry, I have other videos where I kind of describe all of this. It's not too complicated. Go check out those videos if you want to know more. And we're also going to ignore the example builds. We're just going to dive into all of the items and the powers. Specifically the hero items, because all the rest are kind of general. And in the weapon category, we actually have 4 for Ana, which is a lot. And the first one is Quick Scope. 5% weapon power and 200% faster scope speed deals 20% more damage to airborne enemies. Now, before we equip that, let me show you what the normal scope speed is. This is an old lady, she takes her time. However, with it is instant. It is kind of insanely fast. And you also do 20% more damage on airborne targets. I don't know if the guys on the platform are kind of considered airborne. Okay, the next one is a target tracker. 50% biotic grenade duration, which is actually pretty nice. For each enemy or ally affected by biotic grenade, gain 5% attack speed up to 25%. This is the normal attack speed. And then we throw a flask. And you can hear it's a little faster. If you want to get Ana rolling, that is what you need to get. The next one is potent projectiles. 10% weapon power. Biotic rifle projectiles are 100% larger. I like this one a lot because I'm very much an unscoped Ana player. So let's do the comparison for a second. This is just normal. Let's see where the hitbox is kind of at when we start hitting people. Right there. See? Right at a little corner. Now we're going to kind of add that ability. And it actually should be a lot sooner. Yeah, look at that. It's actually around here. That is pretty big. I love that item. I use it quite often. And then the fourth one in the weapon item category is unscoped resources. You give you 4 max ammo. Unscoped biotic rifle shots have a 50% chance to not consume ammo. You definitely can make a completely unscoped build. Ammo? No ammo. No ammo. 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 No ammo. Ammo. No ammo. 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 Okay. Look, it's 50% chance some other people might get 3 shots out. For me, it's max 2. But now I got actually 3 out of it, so not 4 though. In theory, you could go indefinitely. 50% chance is 50% chance, guys. But again, for that unscoped Ana, could be nice. Although there are a few others that I like a little better. We'll get to them. Okay, let's move to the ability category. We actually have 5 in there. First one is a rare, double dosage, 25 health. Landing a sleep dart on a target affected by a biotic grenade reduces its cooldown by 35. Let me show you. If we do a normal sleep, 14 seconds. Until we can use it again. Unless we're going to be smart and flask him first, then sleep him, it just dropped down to 9 seconds. That is quite substantial. Because you need your sleep darts, guys. You'll see in a second why. But anyways, we're going over to the epic ability category. And the first one is lethal dose. 50% ability lifesteal, which is quite a lot. Sleep dart direct hit deals 100 bonus damage. I'm going to show that on Tracer. But that, Tracer took a really big hit right there. The next one is another one for your flasks. Cluster Core, 25% ability lifesteal. Biotic grenade's cooldown is reduced by 1 second for each target it hits. So normal flask, 14 seconds. Hit these 2 guys, and it's down to 12. So the sleep dart gains 500% collision size, 100% projectile speed, and it gains 20% sleep duration. That is kind of guaranteeing you to get a sleep every single time. You can aim right here to sleep, and they'll still go down, and they'll go down for a longer time. So just aim right here. Sleeping. At this point, you don't need aim anymore, guys. And that's why I love it so much. Okay, the next one. Grenadius Pin. 20% ability power and 30% biotic grenade radius. Again, you don't need aim. You just kind of aim right there. And bam. Alright, let's move over to survival. We got 4 items. The first one being dash boots. 5% move speed. Jumping in midair will dash you for a short instance. That is basically the vault, as we have seen it with other heroes. Making Ana a little more mobile. A lot of Ana players would love to see this. I've always had a bit of an issue with it, because I feel it doesn't really fit her. She is of a certain age, so to speak, so... But, you know, who am I to judge? The next one in the survivor category is Perfected Formula. Gives you 25 shields and 50% nano boost duration. That makes sense. The next one is IV Drip. 25 health. While affected by biotic grenade, Ana gains 100% over health. Let's have a look. So if we flask ourselves, we're actually 375 health until it disappears. That's how overhealth works, of course. And then the last one, or the last hero item that we have for Ana, is Eye of Horus. Giving you 50 shield, and Nano Beast can target allies through walls, and its range is increased to 60 meters. So basically you can nano from way further. We can also nano someone through walls. So if we equip that one, we can nano that bot right there.
Get in there.
And we don't need to get ourselves in a vulnerable position. 60 meters is pretty far. I think I could actually nano him all the way from down here. There we go.
Get in there.
I'm actually curious how far that actually is going to work. Let's see if I can nano him from over here.
You're powered up.
Yep.
Get in there.
I mean, I think you can see why it's useful. Alright, but those were all of the items. We're going to move over to the powers. The first one is one of my favorites. No scope needed. Landing unscoped shots with a biotic rifle grants 10% attack speed for 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. If you combine that with the bigger unscoped bullets and whatnot,
Stand up straight.
you can see why it is going to be useful. You can pump out a lot of healing that way. The one thing I kind of find weird is that there's no kind of indication on how many stacks I have. But you know, you can feel it, you can sense it. And the next one is Pinpoint Prescription. Biotic Rifle can now critically hit both allies and enemies.
Taking care of you.
That means that you can headshot. That is something that a lot of Ana players have been asking for. Tactical Rifle. While scoped, Biotic Rifle will lock onto allies for a guaranteed hit. In other words, if you're kind of, you know, not the best aim, there you go. That's auto aim. I swear there's an Ana with training wheels in there somewhere. Comfy Cloud. Sleep Dart explodes on contact, hitting targets within 3 meters, but sleep has a 50% reduced duration. Now, if you combine it with the other one, that actually gives you 20% more than it reduces with 50, so the difference is not that big. But the thing is that you can sleep 2 people at the same time.
Close your eyes.
That is not bad. Alright, Dreamy. Sleep Dart can hit allies, healing 100% of their max life for 8 seconds instead of putting them to sleep. In other words, you can sleep your friends. They'll get that really needed rest. It's basically a heal over time that will run for 8 seconds, which is pretty long, and it's pretty strong. The risk is, of course, that they'll get in the way and it'll steal a sleep, but you know, it happens. Sleep Regimen. Gain 50 health, and when you apply sleep to an enemy, gain 10 health up to 150. The theory I find is an interesting one. You got 50 health. Now, according to the description, as I read it with me again. When you apply sleep to an enemy, gain 10 health up to 150. However, when I put him to sleep, I only have like 300. I don't get a 10 extra. Doesn't matter how many times I put him to sleep. And then I was thinking maybe it's just, you know, when you take damage,
I'm under attack.
and then you put them to sleep, you get the 10 health, but what is up with the 150? Are they taking into account that you can get your sleep to a 0-second cooldown, which I don't think is possible? Because where did he get the 150? I don't get it. I'm probably either misreading it or this is slightly bugged. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, but the next one is Home Remedy. Biotic Grenade grants overhealth equal to 100% of its healing. So if he flies these 2 gentlemen, he also gets some overhealth on top of the healing that we supply. So we heal them and we actually give them overhealth, giving us a chance to heal them up just by the regular shots. Time Cut. Biotic Grenade now knocks enemies back and reduces their move speed by 50% for 1.5 seconds. Let's give that a try, shall we?
Sting.
Yeah, that is disruptive. Venomous. Biotic Grenade deals an additional 30 damage over its duration to enemies affected. You can get someone killed that way. And now we're getting into the Nano Boost stuff. My turn. Nano Boost also applies to yourself for 50% of its duration. I think we all know that one from the different events, the April Fool's events and whatnot. Our turn, however, is kind of interesting. Nano Boost also affects other allies in your line of sight, but it has a 50% reduced duration on them. But I can show you guys our turn. It's kind of funny. If I nano this guy,
You're powered up.
everybody in my line of sight is getting nanoed. He's getting the full nano, and the other 2 will fall off after half the time. And then the last one, your full potential. Nano Boost also grants the target 20% ultimate charge and 200 overhealth. That's what they call a gift.
You're powered up. Get
Look
in
at that.
there.
But as you can tell, you definitely can do some interesting combos when it comes to focusing on the Sleep Dart, focusing on the flasks, or even focusing on nano. There's very different ways of building different Anas. Scoped, unscoped. A lot of choices. I like all of these for Ana. And that was it for Ana. Tell me, what combo of powers and items would you use? Let me know in the comments. For now, however, that was it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps me out. I also want to thank my patrons and YouTube members. You too can become a member over on patreon.com/theomnicpost and right here on YouTube to unlock exclusive rewards. If you have a few minutes left, maybe check out one of my other videos. But above all, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.